Amici di Virgin Radio, che meraviglia! Oggi ho la possibilità di chiacchierare con due personaggi della scena rock e metal, davvero molto importanti. Loro sono due donne, due simboli davvero forti, e per me è un piacere poter chiacchierare con Amy Lee from Evanescence and Sharon and Adele from Within Temptation. Hello ladies, welcome on Virgin Radio.
Hello, thanks for having us.
Thank you for
Hi.
your time. Hi. Great pleasure for me because you are two incredible singers for sure and two personalities of the rock and metal world. So we can say finally we are ready for the Worlds Collide tour after a long time because the tour has been postponed several times due to the pandemic. So finally, are you excited?
Yes,
Very much. Yes, can't wait.
finally. I have never even heard of a tour postponed this long.
Yes.
We were going to do it spring of 2020.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fall 22. So it's a year and a half, and it sold really well. So
Yeah.
we are really coming. I mean, really coming this time.
Yeah, we can wait. Ho detto a Emily e Sharon and Adele che finalmente possiamo dire siamo pronti per il tour che vedrà le due band Evanescence and Within Temptation insieme, perché il tour è stato rimandato più volte a causa della pandemia. Adesso ci siamo. You will be in Italy, in Milano, 10th of November. What can we expect from this show?
I don't know.
Uh,
Probably play some songs.
You don't know.
well, of course, we're going to bring the best show ever because, we had a lot of time to prepare. And it's going to be a very special tour. So we both are going to do the very best to make it extra special visually and musically, of course, and having an amazing vibe together on stage.
Wow. Il 10 di novembre arriveranno in Italia con questo tour. La data sarà a Milano, al Forum d'Assago a Milano. Ho chiesto cosa ci possiamo aspettare. Beh, loro inizialmente hanno detto non lo sappiamo. Ovviamente hanno voglia di fare un qualcosa di molto speciale, mettendo insieme le cose più significative della carriera delle band, e quindi sarà un qualcosa di assolutamente unico. You have your career with your bands, your identity, your personal style for sure, but what binds you?
What doesn't bind us is more the question.
Okay, why not? What doesn't bind you?
To each other?
Yeah, to each other, and maybe music and bands.
Right. That's is so poetically put. I love Italy so much. Like they just put it in a poetic way. Like what
Totally.
binds you? That speaks to me.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Sharon a moment ago about being in a band, and how special it is to have this relationship with a few people where you all are unique and you're all different. But then there is some intangible thing that does bind us that is deeper than all of our differences and makes us come together to create a unique combination. It's not about everybody liking the same thing. Sharon was saying the same thing. Everybody has different tastes. Everybody has little things about their style that are different. But when we come together, we're able to create something that's bigger than all of us, which is why it's just the raddest thing to be a member of a group. And I think that Sharon and I have been learning, and I'm sure we'll continue to learn as we go on tour together, how much we really have in common as far as starting out and our process and the things that we love about music. So I'm very much looking forward to the tour.
Ho chiesto a Emily e a Sharon and Adele. Ovviamente loro hanno due personalità distinte, due stili distinti anche a livello musicale, chiaramente, però ho detto cosa vi lega? E me li risponde, intanto mi piace molto la parlata italiana perché si utilizzano spesso dei vocaboli così poetici, perché ho usato un termine che potremmo appunto utilizzare come cosa vi lega, cosa vi unisce in maniera profonda. Lei dice, allora intanto quando si suona in una band si crea un rapporto con poche persone davvero unico, ognuno è diverso ma poi insomma insieme si crea quella magia. Allo stesso tempo dice quello che abbiamo in comune io e Sharon lo scopriremo pian piano durante il tour, però insomma anche questo tipo di energia, di bella vibrazione da condividere sul palco è un qualcosa che assolutamente ci lega. I know that you met each other the first time not so long ago the announcement of the tour, you met in Amsterdam, I'm right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's like you felt in love in a really, oh my God, I lost the word, in a really short time. Okay, sorry. And what did happen that night?
Well, it's like when the first time we got an invite by Evanescence to come see their show, and we're really impressed. And then we texted like, "Okay, we're here, we love the show," and Amy invited us backstage, and well, you don't know what to expect when you first meet each other. Of course, you know each other's music, but you don't know each other personally. Of course, you have an idea about how somebody can be, but you don't know. And well, it was very special, I feel, because it was within a certain moment of time, period of time, we actually talked about real lives,
Mhm.
how we so much our lives are so much alike, like the touring, the families, the how we were, as women in metal. There's so many similarities, and then you just find each other in a certain way, and before we knew it, we were talking about the real stuff instead of, being just polite to each other. What happens a lot actually, but not with us. And that was really special, I think.
Yeah.
Ho chiesto, sappiamo che loro si sono incontrate ad Amsterdam non tantissimo tempo prima dell'annuncio del tour insieme, quindi si incontrano, chiacchierano, effettivamente nasce questa bella amicizia. Ho chiesto loro: "Ma cos'è successo quella sera?" Sharon risponde: "Guarda, in realtà appunto, ci siamo incontrate, ovviamente sapevamo l'una dell'altra, la musica, però di persona non ci eravamo mai incontrate e chiacchierando di, real life, di vita reale, quindi l'essere madri, l'andare in tour, come si incastra la vita personale e la vita di lavoro, così ci siamo ritrovati in una conversazione molto confidenziale, molto intima, che ci ha fatto bene all'anima e che insomma ha creato questa unione." I read a beautiful thing that you, Amy, said in an interview, talking about Sharon, and is, "I felt safe being vulnerable with her."
Uh,
And I love it. I love it. When women meet each other, I suppose, especially in a world like the rock and metal music industry, uh, is like we cling each other. Is like we create, I don't know, little gang.
Yeah. There is that feeling. Obviously, it takes more than just being a girl. It
Yeah,
takes being real.
for sure.
But there is, this feeling of community that I've only felt more and more through the years with women in rock, women in metal, because we're pushing the boundary a little bit. It's not the most typical face of rock, and it takes being willing to break rules and not be afraid of standards that are already set, and be brave and be yourself, and
Yeah.
and be strong. But I think it also takes being really patient and being a really good team player. I think that is something that we all have a lot in common, the good girls of it, like, if that's even a way to put it, because you have to work hard and you have to come first, and you have to just kind of prove yourself. I think there's an extra element that's existed of having to prove that you belong where you are because you don't look like everybody else.
Yeah.
yeah.
But what's really beautiful about that is as time has gone on, I've just seen, particularly, I think it's been more common maybe in other countries than America, but more and more through the years, it's just, there have just been more. There have been more of us. There have been more women to break through, and be great, and
Yeah.
make great music. And that really is the point. It doesn't really matter what your gender is, just make something awesome. But that makes me feel like, we're doing something good, like, because the more of the more of us there are, the more of
The
us
more it will
there will
come.
continue to
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Totally.
is, yes. Ho raccontato a Emily di aver letto una sua frase in un'intervista che mi ha colpito molto, che tradotta in italiano potrebbe essere: "Mi sono sentita tranquilla e al riparo nel potermi dimostrare vulnerabile con lei, con Sharon." Quindi ho detto: è vero che nel mondo, specialmente nel mondo del metal e del rock, che è un mondo soprattutto maschile, è un dato di fatto, tra noi donne, quando ci incontriamo poi creiamo questi legami, una specie di piccola squadra, no? Ci uniamo. Lei assolutamente mi dà ragione in questo e mi dice che che è anche molto bello poter mostrarsi così come si è, forti sicuramente perché dobbiamo sempre mostrare magari quel qualcosina in più e allo stesso tempo anche con le nostre debolezze che poi fanno la differenza. E poi dice il mondo del rock e del metal pian piano si sta sempre più riempendo di figure femminili, di questa cosa lei me li dice non posso che essere contenta e felice e in qualche modo dice sentiamo forse che stiamo facendo un qualcosa di giusto come esempio di donne sul palco ed è assolutamente così. I know Sharon that you are into fashion, you are also a
Yeah.
stylist, and I know Amy that when you were at school you used to draw your own clothes, is right?
I still design my own clothes for stage. Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
another things in common that you have. I think that visual side of music is very, very important, and I suppose it's also fun thinking about it, the dress code, but also lights and color on stage and the scenography and all the kind of things. But nowadays, new artists are so into this kind of things, and music is like on the background. You think is
I know what you're
do
talking
you
about.
agree with me? Not all the band for sure, not all the artists, but the most part of music world move around the visual side. You know what I mean?
I think TikTok with this question, Sharon.
Yeah.
Because I think that I don't want to sound like an old lady saying, yeah, the new ones suck. There's a lot of great new artists emerging. And I actually think that the way that technology has moved, there's pros and cons, but it's been really cool to put the power and the ability to create into more hands of more people. You don't have to go into a professional recording studio to get your idea out anymore. And you don't have to go through another person like a label or something to reach the public. We all actually have the ability to go say something to the world. Now, the downside, the hard part of that is there's so much out there, but it's kind of cool that anybody can make something. And I think what I can relate to about what you're saying is, as far as from the business side, like labels, maybe management, whatever, I think they're putting a lot of emphasis and a lot of thought into the silly stuff over the music, the promotion, the TikToking, the making the videos, the whatever over the music. The music has to be the main focal point. And it always will be with me. I think that the visuals, fashion design, the stage production, everything you mentioned, that's all part of the music. Like that's important, but you don't have a show if you don't have a great song first. And I think that some people still do that for sure, but that kind of is what sets true artists apart for me personally, and the ones that really touch me apart from, like the masses. Does that make sense?
I totally agree with you. I think there is indeed nothing if it's all about the other stuff. It needs to be about music. Otherwise, it just will fade away anyway. It doesn't hold anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Allora, ho detto a Sharon che lei oltre a essere musicista e cantante è anche nel mondo della musica e stilista. Ho detto Emily, quando eri a scuola di solito disegnavi i tuoi vestiti, lei ha voluto sottolineare il fatto che tuttora lei pensa e disegna i suoi vestiti, quelli che indossa sul palco. E ho detto è molto bello l'aspetto visual, quindi la parte di abbigliamento ma anche di luci sul palco, la scenografia e quant'altro. Ho detto però non vi sembra che oggi molti nuovi artisti, non tutti ovviamente, diano troppo focus, troppa attenzione all'aspetto esteriore e la musica diventa un po' un sottofondo, cioè forse il secondo aspetto da considerare. Allora, da un lato Emily dice fondamentale per tutti potersi esprimere la propria creatività e il talento anche attraverso TikTok, i social, va bene assolutamente, su questo non ho nulla al contrario. Forse il problema è più dalla parte delle etichette discografiche che si occupano troppo della promozione, appunto dell'enfatizzare l'aspetto promozionale, l'artista nelle sue sembianze, nel suo modo di apparire. Ecco, la musica deve però essere sempre al centro. Questo più o meno è il riassunto di quello che viene raccontato da Emily, e Sharon dice sono assolutamente d'accordo. Both of you have evolved and experimented with your sound. How important is it to you to do that, to evolve with your music?
I think that's, for me, one of the most important things. I think I need to be continuously trying new things to keep it interesting, because I've been around for 25 years almost, if not longer, and to keep it interesting I want to try new things and implement it in something that was already there, which is our kind of music. And then but new inspirations and new vocal ways are always interesting, and yeah, it's for me like eating and drinking. It's necessary to move on with music.
Completely. We have to, I think that the passion and it being genuine and coming from your heart is something that's really important to both of us. And it wouldn't be from the heart to just regurgitate the same thing that you think people want because they bought it the first time. For us to be passionate about what we're doing, there has to be something that always feels like a step forward.
Certo. Ho chiesto quanto è importante per loro evolvere, andare avanti con la loro musica. Ovviamente anche il suono cambia con il passare degli anni. Sharon dice: beh, sono sul palco, sono nel mondo della musica da 25 anni, e dice: è fondamentale, come mangiare, come bere, è importante per me sperimentare, trovare nuove modalità di comunicare attraverso quello che è il linguaggio della musica. Emily dice: anch'io sono assolutamente d'accordo, così come è fondamentale non perdere mai davvero quel fuoco, quella passione che poi è quello che fa la differenza nel momento in cui poi sei sul palco, o quando insomma butti fuori la tua musica. Si deve sentire salute, cheers, si deve sentire quel fuoco. Ladies, thank you so much for your time. So we are waiting for you here in Italy, November the 10th. Yes, il 10 di novembre a Milano al Forum d'Assago. Thank you for your time. Really, you are so
You're most welcome.
kind.
Grazie. Thank you. We can't wait to see you.
Grazie. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Virgin Radio, Style Rock.